Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the General Hospital recap for June 3rd through 7th, 2024. I'm sitting outside, which is something we've talked about doing. Like, we should go up to my pool sometime and record.
Yeah, that could be next weekend.
There we go. Is it going to be nice? Let's see. Hold on.
You know, even if it says no, it could change by then.
I know.
The weather is never right. It was supposed to be raining right now, and you're outside.
It is supposed to be like 88 degrees next Sunday. So, yeah, maybe we do that. We actually
we'll pretend
Zoom from
like we're at the MetroCourt.
Exactly.
We're at the MetroCourt next weekend.
Exactly. Which, I mean, like, they finally opened that up, but that's a whole other thing we'll get into.
Yeah.
So if the audio cuts out a little bit, I mean, I don't know how this is going to sound either. So we'll see. But we have a lot of stuff going on inside today. So I was like, I'll see how it goes outside. I'm just going to hope the neighbor doesn't start mowing his lawn.
Giving him that idea.
I know, that's why I whispered. Okay. So I don't think we received any emails this week for the Port Charles pipeline. Oh, yep. Sorry, we did. Oh, somebody asking to connect on Goodreads. So did you join Goodreads yet? I sent you the link.
I did not. Madeline wasn't home that day, so we are going to do it today. It was on our list of getting our life together.
All right. I will have to add this person. I'm going to snooze this so I remember to check it out. Yeah, that works. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. But I did have something that I saw on social media this week.
Okay.
Did you know that Josh Kelly is dating Chloe Lanier?
I did not, but I saw that. Yes, that must have just broke this week or something, because I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And I know they're not their characters, but thinking about their characters, I'm like, what?
Right. Super sweet Cody, who is misunderstood, but honestly, you can tell has like a heart of gold, and Nell.
Yeah.
So
we have heard that she is super sweet in person. So
absolutely.
It does not surprise me that they would end up together. That's cute though.
Yeah, I guess at the Men of General Hospital, according to TV Insider, at the Men of General Hospital event in New York, Lanier arrived at the first event dressed up as Kelly, wearing a fake beard and a baseball cap, according to Soaps in Depth. Later, she revealed to fans at dinner that she and Kelly are in a relationship. They later posted photos together at the event. However, they did not disclose to fans just how long they've been in a relationship, and they have not gone Instagram official yet. I guess Facebook official is out.
I guess so.
So they never were on GH together, but they found each other anyway.
Well, I would bet that they have mutual friends.
Oh, sure.
So.
Sorry, I'm just reading this because, yeah, I mean, I guess we will see. But I thought that was just really, I kind of did a double take. I don't know about you.
Yep. Like I said, you know they're not their characters, but when you first see them, that's what you identify. And you're like, what? Oh, never mind.
Well, listen. They are promoting, I don't know if you saw, Maurice and Vanessa are doing a Zoom in August, and they're promoting it as Sunny and Brenda.
Right.
So,
right. Exactly.
But we did have the Daytime Emmys this week, and GH won for Outstanding Daytime Drama Series, Outstanding Writing Team for a Daytime Drama Series, Outstanding Directing Team for a Daytime Drama Series, and Robert Gossett, who plays Marshall Ashford, won for Outstanding Supporting Performance in a Drama Series. Oh, we're going to get my wind chimes in this. Sorry. Lots of other nominations, but those were the categories that we won in. We have collectively won in these.
Of course, we are part of it.
And then the one that I feel like, I mean, it's always sad when our people don't get the win, but Little Jophiel Love was nominated as the composer and lyricist for Outstanding Original Song Shine. And unfortunately, she was not the winner of the evening. But I think it is amazing that...
Right, could you imagine being that age and being nominated for an award like that on something that you wrote and saying like, oh my gosh.
Right. But Johnny was in the tribute, which is not typical where this only happened 8 days ago, but it probably because it was so horrific and so fresh that they just
Right.
so that's good. And it's not GH related, but Dick Van Dyke won Best Daytime Emmy for Best Guest Performance in a Daytime Drama Series. So he did beat Allie Mills, who is Heather Weber, but he is now at 98 years old, the oldest winner of a Daytime Emmy.
That's awesome. I saw that too. It was like, yay.
So we need him to come back. Let's get him on General Hospital and let's get him to win next year. And then he can just beat his own record.
There you go.
So yeah, that's it. Kind of short, sweet, and to the point. And then, Hulu headlines. Shoot, I'm not in my room, so I don't have it up. Do you have Hulu?
I can get it.
Easy access? Okay. I forgot to pull it up.
Let's find it on my phone because I don't usually watch it on here.
Well, in the meantime, this upcoming Thursday, we are doing the part 5 of Lila Quartermain. It is going to be pretty short, similar to the last, I think, couple weeks where we had to change resources. It just was more time consuming, so we wound up not getting it to be a part of last week. But then the storyline that started was super more in depth. So next week's going to be juicier.
Juicy Lila.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
Sorry, it's taken forever. What the heck? Come on, Hulu.
Okay.
Wake up. Wake up. All righty. We have Monday, June 3rd. Anna arrives at the scene of a crime. Sunny gets an earful from Carly. Valentin has a clandestine meeting. Ava cozies up to Natalia, and Christina feels betrayed. I hated Ava and Natalia, but okay. And then Tuesday, Anna makes a horrifying...
We'll talk about that later. Sorry.
Yep, I know.
Okay.
Tuesday, Anna makes a horrifying realization. Drew takes Carly by surprise. John threatens to make an arrest. Finn rebuffs Elizabeth. Chase leans on Brook Lynn. Wednesday, Gregory's loved ones say their final goodbyes. Christina and Molly clash. Blaze struggles in a recording session. And then Thursday, Trina has a jarring encounter. Gio starts a new job. Concerns for Finn deepen. Christina tries to mend fences. Maxie and Spinelli enjoy some family time. They were so cute. Mm-hmm. And then on Friday, Jake is shocked by what he sees. Elizabeth confides in Stella. Brook Lynn and Chase strategize. Nina gets a welcome surprise. And Dex issues an invitation.
Why am I not remembering Liz talking to Stella?
I'm not either. I was just going to ask you if I missed that because I was kind of distracted during not distracted, but yeah, other stuff going on. So I guess distracted during the week. And so I was just going to ask you the same thing. I thought the last thing that we saw of her, not to start backwards, but was when she opened the door to Finn's apartment and they like looked at each other.
Right.
Nothing else happened after that, right? As far as
no.
Okay.
Wait.
Did
on
we miss
Thursday? Oh, seriously. Okay. I'm not saying that this is not creative because they took a very easy thing that I haven't seen yet. Is Elizabeth finished Finn with Finn?
Yeah, that's funny.
But it says that on Thursday, June 6th, so not Friday, and that was mentioned in Friday, right?
Friday.
Like that was Friday's. Was that Friday's description?
No, it was Friday that it says Elizabeth talked to Stella.
Okay. It says for June 6th, so that was Thursday. This is Yahoo. Okay. It says Elizabeth unloads her problems to Stella. She's already turned to Portia, but there's a bit of conflict. It looks like this is more of a spoilers type thing, not...
Yeah, I do not remember her talking to Stella, but...
All right, let's go to Soap Central real quick, just because I feel like that's a big thing if we missed it. Okay, the week of June 3rd. Like, I don't feel like we saw Stella at all.
No. We couldn't have both missed Stella. Like, even if we didn't... No, I feel like even if we didn't recall exactly what was said, we would still remember seeing her. I don't remember seeing her.
She's not even mentioned in the write-up at all for next week. So, okay, did not happen.
Okay.
All right. So back to what did happen. I guess, do we just want to stick on that topic?
I guess so. It makes me so mad. I really didn't want... I feel like they took the easy way out. And I don't mean any disrespect to those who struggle with alcoholism, because I can't even imagine when something like the death of a parent happens, the tailspin that it puts you in and the desire to go to alcohol. But I feel like this would have been a good storyline to see the reverse, where he's like really delving into his AA meetings and like really leaning on his support, and like you see the struggle, but he overcomes it, because that is the other side of it. The people who have been sober for years and years and years have obviously faced horrible things, and they've found a way to cope through it and not go back to the alcohol.
But as he told Liz this week, he's not an alcoholic. He was a drug addict. He just abstained from alcohol as a choice. I am not the reason that he is an alcoholic. I mean, now we know this.
Right.
He has not accepted as him to himself. He's seeing it as, well, I made the choice to abstain from it, so it's actually not a problem. Because some people are able to drink if they have been drug addicts. Right. You know, if they're recovering drug addicts, you know, they are able to, but he knows that he's not. And so that's why he made that choice.
Right. I feel like if he truly believed what he said to Liz, then he would have made that like disclaimer early on and been like, listen, I don't typically drink because I know that it can be a gateway to other drugs that I have had issues with. But at this time, like if I want to throw back a scotch because my dad just died, I'm going to. And he would have done it openly. And it, like, people I'm sure still would have been concerned, but it wouldn't have been the same thing as this. He's sneaking off and he happens to have breath spray on him and all that kind of stuff. Like if you're sneaking, you know what you're doing is wrong. Right. Exactly. I mean, that's how you know it's a problem. If you cannot do it in front of your brother and your kid and just explain this is where we're at without them being overly, I mean, again, they should be concerned, but not overly concerned, then you know that they know that it's a problem and that you've had a problem. And so again, I would have preferred not it to just be like rainbows and butterflies, like, oh, he doesn't do this, so he's just not going to do this. Because again, I can't imagine the struggle, but I would like to have seen the struggle instead of just now he's back to drinking. Right. And like, now what is this going to do to Alexis? Because we don't know yet if Alexis got her license back or not. So if she didn't get her license back, are her and Finn going to become drinking buddies? Like, I don't think so, because Alexis has acknowledged that. Like, she has acknowledged that. I mean, because Molly brought it up. And Molly actually brought it up as, I'm concerned when you get your license back, you will go back to drinking. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like she's being more hyper aware of it now. Right. I'm hoping they keep it that way. And I hope that Alexis can help pull Finn out of this. Like, it was a temporary slip. Let's get some help. Not that they continue on with this storyline. Well, so then we see Jake, who took Danny's vape, who talked to Finn about taking Danny's vape because he was concerned for him, sneaking into a bar underage drinking. Right. I don't agree with, I mean, like, I agree and support the fact that he took Danny's vape but it doesn't seem in line. If we had been seeing Jake struggle with we've seen him struggling with Jason coming back, but we haven't seen anything leading up to this. Really, the last thing we saw was Danny and Jake fighting because he thought that Danny was making bad choices and in his way of coping. So where did this come from with Jake? Where did these friends come from? And it's not like we just saw him get new friends. So all of this just seems very out of character. Let's start documenting the extreme character shifts that we have seen, because this isn't what we've seen of Jake. You know, we saw his concern with Charlotte also, you know, over the choices that she was making. So, and he was obviously very concerned. I did like how his friends responded though to, okay, at first they were giving him a hard time. Like, dude, you need to let it go, you know? Right. He's obviously here with somebody else. But then when they actually left and that one friend said, he's like, your mom deserves better. I was like, oh, that's actually really nice for them to say and acknowledge. Yes. And they said, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry that this is happening to you. Which I think at that age is difficult no matter what. But for guy friends, I don't feel like they do that for each other. You know, it's, I don't even know if teenage girls really would. Right. No, it was
at that
it was
age,
nice
at that
they band
age.
together. Yeah.
Yeah. But that bartender's liability is through the roof.
He sold a bottle. He's serving underage kids.
He is obviously not Surf Pro certified. If that's even a requirement. I mean, it wasn't a requirement, but it was like.
Okay, but you worked, at least what you refer to most of the time, is you worked at a restaurant establishment. This was obviously a dive bar, and unfortunately, they don't follow the same rules. It's just like I think I've talked about Megan with vaping. Like, you're supposed to be 21 to vape, and if she goes to like the big chain gas stations and tries to buy vapes, they will not sell to her, but the little local one, absolutely.
That's still illegal. It's Surf Safe, not Surf Pro. As soon as I said Surf Pro, I'm like, that's a restoration company. So he's obviously not Surf Safe. And it is. It's still.
I would be, if I was a server, I would be so scared. I would be carding everyone. Like, when we went out on Mother's Day, the waitress carded me. And I was like, okay, like, I know I don't look under 30 or whatever it's supposed to be right now, but it
used to be 40.
I would be like, even the 90-year-old ladies, I would be like, can I see your ID? Just because I need to make sure I don't get in trouble.
No, I did. I had an alcohol carding age because it was 40. If you looked under 40 was the age for me. And so here's the thing. Okay, now it says 35. So maybe they dropped it a little bit. But I distinctly remember, and yes, like I worked at a chain restaurant that's relatively small. But they actually had a really supportive system, because a lot of the times the reason that people don't follow that is because they're worried they're going to not be tipped and lose out on income.
Right.
This chain, if you shut somebody off for the right reason and you did not get tipped, they tipped you 20%. And this is when 15% was standard.
Oh, nice.
So the restaurant paid you your tip.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, because so at the sports bar that I worked at, they did not do that. And I had a guy literally flick a quarter in my face one time. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
But at the chain, or at the other place, like the more family friendly restaurant, there was a girl sitting at the bar with her parents. She didn't have her ID. She might have been over 21. Well, they wanted to order a margarita for her, or she wanted to order a margarita. She didn't have her ID. I was like, I'm sorry. And they're like, well, we can vouch for her. I was like, I don't care. Right. I didn't say it like this, but I was like, well, no. And they're like, well, then we would like a margarita. And I said, I cannot give you a margarita because I know that you are going to give it to her.
Right.
And my manager came out and had my back 100% because it was just suspicious. And so then, like, when they moved to a table to be served, the server was told of the situation at the bar. Like, I went to them. They saw that I went to them and told them.
Yeah.
So it was, just accept it. You know, it's not worth me losing my livelihood, you know, at the time. And it's the same thing now with real estate. How many times people want you to bend the rules? And it's literally that is a federal law.
Right.
You know, that's not how that works. So.
Right. And it's not that hard. It's not, I mean, my older daughter does not have a license. So on her 21st birthday, we went and got her a state ID. So whenever she was going out, she can show, here is proof. I'm not sitting there going, oh yeah, I swear she's 21. Like, yeah, no, that's insane.
But yeah, you're talking about your oldest going and getting an ID. Exactly. You know, we had to do the same for my daughter. When she turned 18, it was, you're not going to drive, but you need to be able to have identification. Right. I'm sure this girl had identification. It was just not with her. But then at the same time, how are you going out?
Yeah, and like even me, like, for example, we went over to my mom's last night and Ryan was driving, and I was like, you're sure they are going to drive there and back? Because if not, or if so, I'm not even going to bother taking my purse. But if not, then yeah, I have to have my license on me if I'm driving home, just in case, or if we're going out to drink somewhere or whatever. Like, yeah.
Hi, Kitty.
This is Gypsy. Apparently she wants to record today. You say hi to Shannon?
Hi, Gypsy.
That's Megan's cat.
But yeah, for him too, I mean, they were obviously intoxicated. And then Finn's asking for a local, liquor store, fine. But then selling him a bottle, and he's like, we don't really do that. Yeah.
Right. We're not supposed to do that. And Finn's like, well, here's a couple more dollars. I'm sure you can. Like,
Right. Like, I hope he's the owner, because then tomorrow when his boss comes in, he's going to be like, how the heck did you serve
an entire bottle?
Well, and there's no way Finn paid him exactly what they would have made using that bottle for the profits that they were anticipating.
Right. Right. Yeah. We've talked about this before. A bottle is worth way more at a bar being served by the shot than it is to just go into your local store and buy it.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But yeah, I agree with you. That was totally out of character for him to be at the bar. And if it would have been like they walked in and he was like, wait, I didn't realize that this is where we were going, and he didn't order a drink or something like that. Like, he did say, I don't have an ID, like, I'm not going up there, blah, blah, blah. But he still had a beer, and that's not his.
He threw down the money. He seemed to be wanting to do that.
Right.
I mean, I understand that they needed him there, although I don't like the fact that he lied to Liz.
Right.
I do like that he went to Liz. Something tells me his conscience is going to get the better of him, though. But I feel like maybe right now he's probably thinking she can only handle one thing at a time. And, because her first response was, oh, he found a drinking buddy. And he's like, oh, so And then he broke it to her that maybe there was more companionship happening.
Right.
So I like that he was looking out for her that way. I mean, her boys are so good.
They are. And not for Liz, obviously, because it's devastating no matter what, but I like that what she seemed to walk in on was just the beginnings of something happening instead of finding them like in the bedroom. Because I feel like her and Finn could still come back from this, but if they would have actually been in the bed, that it would have been too much.
But she's gone through this. She went through this with Lucky and Maxie.
I know. I'm not saying that she should, but let's admit it.
I know. I
guess when we shouldn't. So
I feel bad. Like, why did they have to kill Franco?
Right. We keep saying, can Liz just have like one romance that is just like the normal everyday problems, money and the kids and whatever. And we thought she was going to find that with Finn, and now nope.
So I don't know.
I don't know. I felt like picking up another woman was out of Finn's character too. And I know that you would say, well, he's drinking, so he's not in his normal character. But I still felt like that. Like, I don't think Finn was going to the bar to pick up someone to go home. I think he was going to the bar to
social person.
Right.
He's not a social person. He is doing it alone. He's not looking for a party. He's not seeking out. He's not calling up his old drinking or his old
friends, his old drinking buddies, whatever.
But this goes back to that he says that he's not an alcoholic, so he doesn't have drinking buddies.
Yeah,
but
I guess that's true.
That's where I was going, and I was like, but shoot, I'm like, his was a different addiction. So
still, I just don't like. Obviously, it showed that girl was more coming on to him than he was coming on to her. But I still, when he bought the bottle and got up to leave, I did expect him to say, "Oh no, you stay here. Like, I'm not bringing you back to my apartment." And
but there's more of Port Charles for him to see. And why didn't she question that he has an apartment with boxes?
Thank you. That's what
I mean. Airbnb, sure, but I mean, I've stayed in plenty of Airbnbs that are condos and apartments and things like that. But
yeah, that was like a fully decorated with pictures of his daughter and him around the place. You're not going to question. I thought you said. I mean, it seemed like she was just looking for a night of fun. So I guess she does not care, and that's fine. That's her choice.
She's being lied to.
Yeah, that's her choice, but it just didn't feel like something Finn would do. Go and get drunk, absolutely. Pick up some girl, no.
Well, and I almost hate to say it, but it would have been better. Here's how it should have been done in Jake's personality, like in his character. Have Finn get blackout drunk down at the pier and have them coming down. What was the name that we don't even remember? We always forget that it actually has a name, but have him and his buddies out doing whatever.
Right. Even if they would have been sneaking alcohol, like Jake could have been like, well, I'm not going to have any, but his friends want to sneak some alcohol.
But they come upon Finn passed out there.
Yeah.
And he doesn't recognize Jake and he doesn't know what to do.
Right.
And then he has to figure it out without calling his mom because she's at work.
Or if he was passed out, Jake could have called 911, and then they would have,
and then he would have gone in,
and then just be like,
we could have seen our hot EMT.
Right, exactly. And Jake can be like, we were just taking a stroll by the pier, and then worse that Elizabeth would have been like, you shouldn't have been down there that late at night or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, I like that way better.
Yeah. Because I also feel like that would have been more in line with both of their characters, where Finn just wanted to drink alone.
Yeah.
He just wanted to get drunk. He wanted to forget. He wanted to get drunk. He wanted to numb.
Right. And that is his character, especially when he's upset, is to just be alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I like your writing better. You get the Emmy.
Yay! I would like to thank my historical knowledge of General Hospital.
Your friend's
my understanding
you 100 years ago.
But understanding the history of some of these characters and how they would intertwine with each other. Thank you.
But yeah, so then he takes the girl home with him, and Jake goes and tells Liz that he was on his way to the movie theater, and they passed the bar, and he saw Finn stumbling out with some woman. And so she goes over to his apartment and uses her key and opens it up and finds Finn and this girl beginning to get into a compromising position.
But he was also very, very, very obviously oblivious.
Yes.
So I think that it's going to be, Liz is going to get him out of that situation. She's going to get him help. She's not going to yell at him in that moment because she knows that it's useless.
Right. It's just going to be more of a confrontation between her and that girl, because that girl is going to be like, is this your wife? And he's going to be like, no. Right. And she's going to be like, no, but this isn't a healthy situation. Can you collect your things and go?
Right. And then poor Chase is having such guilt over this. And I love that Brook Lynn is like, this had nothing to do with you. Like, he was drinking before Gregory died.
Right.
So the heartbreaking thing was when he called the AA, the church, for an AA meeting, and they didn't say, but this one is happening instead.
Right.
We saw whenever he looked it up, or somebody looked it up recently, that there's over 500.
Right.
So.
Right. We looked it up to see locally where we would be.
Exactly.
There's always, seems like there's always one going on.
Right.
So yeah, you would think they could have at least referred him, I'm not sure what their hours are, but I know Saint blah, blah, blah has them also, and given him the number or something,
right.
Help push it along.
Right. But Brook Lynn she wants to kidnap Violet and take her to Italy. I love her, though, when she's like, let's take her to Italy with us and it'll be fine. She'll have the experience of a lifetime. He's like, yeah, so Finn's not going to go with that. And that is a felony to even cross state lines. So no, but her focus is Violet because she did not do anything for this. And I'm just really happy to see that that's where their focus is.
Right, exactly. Brook Lynn is going to make sure that she's okay and that she has alternative places to be while Finn hopefully gets the help that he needs. And even Maxie jumping in that first night and being like, here, I'll take her. We're going to go swimming. We're going to this, whatever. And when she was showing that she was upset, Maxie was like, it's okay. You can be happy and sad at the same time. And your dad can miss you, but want to be alone at the same time because he's grieving. Right. And, basically you're welcome here whenever. So.
Right. And, but then Brook Lynn starts talking about, well, we can get her to the Quartermain Mansion. There's enough people there. We can make it fun where we're having different days. And Chase is like, oh, a day camp. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, if only they had a day camp for kids.
Right. Why
that might be affiliated with the Quartermains. Right.
Yep. I don't get, and this is where Jake is the right age that he should now be a counselor there, and we could continue pushing his good values of interacting with the younger kids and vaping's wrong and this is wrong and blah blah blah.
Right. I did like Maxie's suggestion of Brook Lynn and Chase helping Finn to pack, because she even said, when I had to clean out Georgie's, which is why wasn't Felicia? Why wasn't Frisco?
Yep.
But Maxie was there doing it. with Spinelli.
Right. She also probably didn't trust her parents to do it, though, because her and her sister were so much closer.
But she yelled at Felicia during the funeral.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure she was like, you weren't even here enough. Like, don't touch her stuff. Like,
I'm going to correct what I just said. Yes, she yelled at her, but it wasn't yelling at her. It was, she let her know how she was feeling and how messed up things were.
Yeah.
Yelling sounds like she was out of turn. And
right. Her voice was raised, but it was more, she just needed to get her feelings off her chest. And it was time that Felicia listened.
Right. Exactly.
So, but yeah, I feel like Maxie had it together this week. She was like, look, I'll get the kid. You guys go and help this. Like, do what you need to do. I've been in a similar situation.
Right. So then just to kind of finish out that storyline then would be they did have Gregory's service. I was really glad to see that they actually all had New York plates on their cars. I don't know if you picked up on that.
I did. I was like, oh, they actually have like real plates. And I was like, well, I guess not real plates, but you know what I mean.
Right. Do you know what would have been fun is if they had done like little Easter eggs in the license plates?
Oh, yeah. Like in what they stood for or whatever.
Or something. I can't think of anything. Okay, so maybe for Anna's, have it kind of read like Staying Alive, because that's the movie that she was in. Or, something like that. I guess that would actually, that would not be a good one for them to show on a funeral. But they dedicated the bench that Gregory always liked to sit on. Violet kissed the urn.
I 100% loved everybody there, and they had such kind words, and they emptied out the ashes and stuff. But Chase earlier in the week was like, selfishly, I don't want to dump his ashes. I want to keep him here with me. But I didn't understand why he didn't just take some of them. Like, people do that.
That wasn't Gregory's wish.
I feel like Gregory would have been okay if he'd have just kept like a spoonful.
I understand. I mean, yeah. We often joke because my Grammy was only 4'6", and we have a big family that like there was not enough of her to go around.
That's cute.
I still have some of her, but it's like we took some of her to Graceland, and we have plans to take her somewhere else next year.
Yeah, I mean,
but it makes me happy. Like if I wind up running out,
yeah,
I don't mean any disrespect, and I mean this like in the most loving way, like that. If I wind up running out because I take her to places like the ones that we're taking her to, that kind of just makes me happy, even though they're not places that I won't be able to go visit, you know?
Right. Or they could have even had him keep just like a spoonful, and then as he comes to grips with it, like 6 months from now, show him take that to the park and empty that up. And it'd be like symbolic of time
letting go. I was gonna say, I'm like, there's not going to be a letting go, but the
you
healing, the coming to terms,
right?
Especially where it was Gregory's wish. You know, I do wish though that, especially where he was sick, I do wish that he had that conversation with Finn and Chase of his wishes.
Right.
You know, this wasn't sudden, and they would have been able to have that conversation. Like, Dad, do you mind? Well, can we each just have a little bit? And, you know, then we'll do that and then see Gregory what he says. But then also Alexis gave her little talk about how they jumped out of the plane, and then they shared that passionate kiss, and Tracy looks at Brook Lynn and goes, did you know about that? She's like,
and then
nope.
Later Finn's like, so were you and my dad? Like, and she's like, no, it's just a kiss.
Right. But then Tracy expressed regret of Gregory being a missed opportunity.
Yeah. I really like Tracy nowadays.
I know.
I've always liked her because of her spunk or whatever, but sometimes you just couldn't get behind what she was doing. But lately she's just been such a sweetheart and like really opening up to her feelings. Yeah. It's sweet to see.
Well, and we'll have to deep dive Tracy sometime. Yes, she 100% was like bratty and her approach to everything. But we talked about this a few times. All the men that she married were after her money. And her dad she always wanted her dad's approval, you know, should not withhold heart medication maybe to get it. Because I don't think that's making that's not going to give you any gold stars with Dad. But yeah, Tracy's an interesting character.
She is very complex.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's very Edward, and that's probably why Edward had such a difficult time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then where do we go from there?
Well, Brook Lynn was at the ashes being spread, so she was not at the recording studio. So that left Natalia open to run stuff however she wanted to. And even the sound engineer was like, listen, I don't know why we're redoing these. They all sound amazing. Right. And she's like, no, I'm in charge. You have to do what I say, blah, blah, blah. And then Blaze kind of broke down and was like, yeah, Christina and I had an argument and I messed up and I feel bad. And Natalia was just a jerk. Like,
right. Like, you guys don't have a real relationship.
I'm sorry. Even if you don't agree with what your kid is doing, whenever you see them hurting, you hurt too. And she was like totally beyond that. It was like, oh, things aren't working out. Would never would have guessed. Anyway, get in there and record some songs so you can make some music for me or make some money for me.
You don't tell them I told you so right in the middle of it.
Right.
Or even just the fact that she was saying that the relationship's not real and that it's only a matter of time that it was going to end and it was always going to end badly. And like, why would I cannot imagine saying that to either of my kids.
Right. And then we see Molly and Christina talking, and Christina says to Molly, like, okay, like at first she's playing around it. And then finally Molly's like, listen, I know what happened. Like, why are you tap dancing around this? Just get to the point or whatever. Yes, I'm angry, but what am I supposed to say? Like, these lines are all blurred. I don't know what to do. And once Christina heard that Molly like really had to kind of wrestle it out of Blaze, and that Blaze was very apologetic and didn't realize that she didn't know, and that it wasn't like she was tattletaling to Molly for something, it was just an accident that happened, then she went to the recording studio and showed up, and Natalia still was like a total jerk to her, like, oh, I wasn't expecting you. And
she's the one who said that that's who she said that the relationship would end badly to, wasn't it? She said that to Christina, not Blaze.
Oh, I couldn't remember which one she said it to, but I thought it was funny because she was like, I wasn't expecting you. And Christina was like, oh, it seems like I'm always a surprise to you. And I was like, yes, good. Like, put her in her place. And I'm not one to tell people to disrespect their moms or their significant others' moms, but like, she's just being awful.
Well, and she's hurting her daughter. So it's not like, I don't know, I can't even think. But yes, because Blaze ordered a wonderful dinner, including an amazing chocolate cake, you know, and then she broke the news to Christina quickly. And she even said, and I think that we talked about this last week, the way that Molly was talking, even though we both agree that Molly didn't really seem concerned, but Blaze was under the impression that she knew what happened.
Right.
And she didn't, but she immediately told Christina.
Yeah. Really,
Carly comforted Christina too. I really, really liked that.
Yes.
That was really, really nice.
And the fact that she was honest about it, because Christina was like, do you feel like you knew my dad? And Carly was like, I do feel like I knew him, but he was a different person than what he is now.
Yeah.
I don't know him now, but I did know him then. And yeah, I accepted some bad things because that was the choice that I made, but you have to make your own choices.
Right.
And so it was sweet.
But yeah, somebody's going to hurt Natalia.
Right. And that was the part that was frustrating, was Blaze didn't tell her what was going on. And I was like, I would love for Blaze to be like, yeah, Sonny, that you think is like so nice and sweet, and you're like having this messed up kind of sort of relationship but not really with, was the problem. He was why Christina was upset and why things were being hidden. So you're obviously not the best judge of character because you're not understanding that Sonny is the bad guy.
She's obviously not the best at Google because her whole thing is the media perception of Blaze, and yet she did not do her due diligence on, and she's so obsessed with Christina, she didn't do her due diligence on Christina and her family.
Right. That would be the first step. If you were concerned about who your child was dating, you would not just Google them. You would go that extra step and see where they came from.
Well, and okay, so you Google Christina Corinthos and the mob princess comes up.
Right.
Because remember, she does actually know everything that she says that she doesn't. Oh, that was cute though when Carly was like, pregnancy brain. It is a real thing.
Oh my gosh, it so is.
But yeah, because then we saw Natalia, and this is what you said that you weren't a fan of with Ava. Natalia had gone to Sonny because she decided to buy him a bottle of the bourbon that she noticed he liked. And Ava called her out on her thoughts. And what part of Christina is flighty because she, as a single woman at the time that she made this decision, is sacrificing her body and her life, to give Molly and TJ a baby. And Natalia thinks it's just for vanity.
Right.
And Ava's like, no, Molly and TJ cannot not have a baby themselves. So they need a surrogate. And Christina is that surrogate.
Right. And even, and I will clarify that I mean no disrespect to surrogate mothers at all, because what they do is amazing. But you've seen the ads. Everyone's seen the ads where they're like, make an easy $50,000, $70,000, blah, 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 and be a surrogate. It's not like it's not like Christina was like, oh, I'm, hard up on cash and I want to buy a new car. So I'm just going to go be a surrogate for somebody because this ad in the paper says that I can make this money, which again, we all know it's not that easy of a process, and it is not easy money by any means. But that's the way they market it. Right. That's the way some agencies market it. And so, if it would have been something like that, then maybe she could have had something to say like, oh, she's only doing this for selfish reasons because she wants all this money at the end. But she's doing it for her sister. Right. And I'm not sure what money was exchanged, but no matter what, not enough to have them micromanage her life the way that they've been doing and causing just the normal stress that pregnancy causes. There's no amount of money that justifies everything that you may have to go through during pregnancy.
Right.
So,
but to be called flighty because of
right, it's at least a 9-month commitment. It's not like it was something that she could do in an afternoon. Flighty and pregnancy do not go together. You do not commit to a pregnancy in a flighty moment, because it is a very long drawn out process, and especially not when you're intentionally getting pregnant. That's not a flighty decision in the manner that they're getting pregnant. You didn't go to all those doctor appointments and have all that testing done and go through that whole process in an afternoon.
I was going to say, you did not do the glucose test for fun.
Right. Exactly.
If it is still as bad as I remember.
Right. It's not like she was sitting there one afternoon and was like, oh, you know what? I'd like to buy a new car. So I think I'm going to go be a surrogate. I can just go for the next hour, have all these tests done. They'll impregnate me, and by tomorrow I'll give birth and I'll have all this money. That's just
she had a list of side hustles that said Uber, DoorDash, pregnancy.
Right, exactly.
That's stuff.
No, yeah,
part of me kind of wants to, because didn't you say that she was on All My Children?
Yes.
Part of me wants to go find her so that I can. She seems like she would be a good actress at being sweet, because she has a very sweet demeanor. Yes. But she also has a real nasty side. She's just not a good person. Yeah.
She is a wonderful, wonderful actress. She stood up. I can't turn out hot today. What the heck? Stood up for herself on All My Children. When someone was going against her or her family or whatever, she was way into her family, but she wasn't ever intentionally nasty.
She wasn't an antagonist.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. She just wasn't the villain unless she had to be made that. And there wasn't much storyline, like the normal, someone's flirting with my husband or whatever kind of stuff, but not, she
making a villain out of nowhere.
Yeah. And she was a compassionate, loving person. She wasn't making nasty comments about people without knowing their background. And she certainly would have never had children and talked to them that way. So I don't like it. You'll have to look up All My Children so you can see that it's such a contrast, and I don't like it.
But that's also awesome, though, to show the
right. I mean, I never thought that she couldn't hold a different position. It's just seeing her do it. I'm like, no, you're not who I like. Stop.
Yeah.
And you'll like it because she's with Edmund in All My Children, and you agreed before that he was very easy on the eyes. So,
Alrighty. I'll add that to my list.
But yeah.
So you want to go to the MetroCourt pool? Or do you want to, I'm sorry, I just cut you off.
No, you're good. I was just going to say, yeah, I don't like her. But yeah, we said
So one of the downsides of Zoom is sometimes there's the delay.
Yes. So they showed Violet going to the pool with Maxie's whole clan, and you saw Jocelyn having to yell at James first thing about, we do not run by the pool, and no, you cannot head dive into the pool, and blah, blah, blah. So I'm glad that she has a job. Like we've talked before about.
It makes so much sense for her to be doing this job. Why has she not been doing this job every summer?
Yeah.
Well, for the past 2 years. But it's perfect. Like that's a Josh job.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting them to try to put Gio with Trina, though. I thought that he was going to cause issues between Joss and Dex. And then
especially where Dex was talking to him in the way that he was giving him tips on how to get along with Joss.
Yeah.
But the way that he was saying it was more intimate. I mean, yes, eventually you would become aware of, what did he say about Joss? That she knows, like, it was the way that he said it. It seemed like it's something you really don't get to know about someone until you're closer with them.
Right.
And they've only known each other like 2 days now.
Right.
So
yeah, I was not expecting Trina to see him coming out of the pool the same way that she had seen Spencer coming out of the pool when she found out who he was, and her being caught off guard. So I liked it that it kind of brought us back to like, oh yeah, that is stuff that happens after you lose someone. You see someone at the grocery store or whatever, and you're like, wait, oh no, that's not them. So
I was proud to hear her say that to him and not just be like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, or I can't even think of.
I felt bad for him though, because then he was like, well, why aren't you guys still friends? And she was like, oh, he's dead.
Well, but that's a normal follow-up. It's, oh, well, what happened? And it's, they moved away. They go to a different school, not.
Right.
I can't. Because then Trina said how horrible Sonny is. And he let her know, oh, so that's Uncle Sonny.
He is my benefactor.
I did like that he said that. But although he did mention that he had to interview when Joss said, we're both Nepo hires. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I had to interview and Olivia sat me down. Like, and that's the thing. Olivia's making sure that he is taking the same steps.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, I guess it's going to be interesting because
I just hope they don't try to have both of them like him, like they did with Cam. We don't need to do this again. There are enough boys in college that they do not have to constantly be going after the same men.
Well, and Dex basically said that to Joss.
Right.
He's like, we've both just learned, I think that they're going to get back together.
I think so too.
That was just a temporary break.
Yes.
Now, that's the kind of break that if she and Cam had actually been on, she wouldn't have cheated on him. But it wasn't.
I know.
Oh, but then later in the day, on the gorgeous day, which was now nighttime, Willow and Wiley were at the pool, and Willow was all dolled up. I mean, I totally go with it was a messy bun type thing, but she had the little wispies and the jewelry and
that's what I'm going to look like next week to sit by your pool. I'm going to have full face of makeup.
Perfect. Yes, please do. Dex magically is healed.
Yeah.
Not even a bruise.
Nope. Not even a tiny discoloration under his eye. He's just fine.
It must be some Deception Cosmetics.
Yep.
Whatever that new skincare line, the 4-step skincare line that they were coming out with.
Yes.
So
no, I hated everything at the pool with Willow and Nina and Drew. Like, no. Because
I did like Nina with Wiley. I thought that was sweet, that was a nice moment.
It was a nice moment, but Nina, I feel like at some point she should still learn. Like, she goes from saying hi to him So then they're talking about the product that helps the sunscreen not sink into your skin and make it yucky. And she's like, I'll send over a whole box. Well, and I'm like, what are you talking about? You could literally run downstairs to your office and grab like 3 bottles of it and be like, here, you want to try it? And that would be
Right,
normal.
it's going to expire before you can use a case.
Right.
But right, like 3 bottles, that'd probably last them the summer.
Right. If you need more, let me know. It gives her the chance to reach out.
Right.
Like, it just ridiculous. And then I didn't like the fact, like we've said before, it seems like Willow's making goo eyes at Drew, and so is Nina, and that's just
You're a baby seal. You know how to swim.
Right.
Oh, he doesn't understand that Navy SEALs aren't real SEALs. Well, that's not his problem if you're not telling him that that's not what that means.
Right. Oh, man.
I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, but back to the pool stuff, though. The lotion, Dermapool is not a brand. However, Derma Swim and Diva Stuff Pre-Swim Aqua Therapy, both are real and are both under $20 on Amazon.
Oh, nice.
And I have a saltwater pool. And so I am going to try it because I just had a little itch yesterday. And I use in-shower lotion wash stuff. Like it's I go back and forth between Oil of Olay and I think right now I'm using possibly Jergens. Just like an in-shower body wash or lotion. Like you put it on after you wash.
Yeah.
But I'd be really interested to see if that works. So we're going to test it out.
All right. You'll have to keep us posted.
But yeah, that was just all weird.
Yeah. And then I think
the only
Yep.
Yeah.
Good. Did you cry?
It was like a gut punch. It was, so there was the shootout at the warehouse. Jason wound up, that was actually a pretty nice move. Like when he, bam, bam, bam. Like,
yes.
Going forward, and then was like, nope, not even going to look, but I know that I hit you.
Yep.
And
that was beautiful.
Anna was who showed up, but they think that Sonny ordered the hit. I do think that he didn't.
After seeing this week, I agree that he didn't. But when it first happened last week, I totally thought he did.
I hadn't thought of that, but I absolutely agreed with you after you pointed that out. It was like, well, I guess that makes sense. But Brick called Sonny and told him about the shooting. And that's why it was Brick would have told him if it was successful or not that there was one.
Right.
And because Diane was meeting with him at the time or didn't. Yeah, she was with him whenever that. She went to see him.
Yeah, she was with Jason. She left Jason to go see Sonny.
Yes. And then one of the guys had a burner phone with only one number in it. Anna calls it, and it's Valentin.
And there's no question that he was who put the hit out because he doesn't even say hello. He says, is it done? And then no one answers. And he's like, just tell me if it's done. And you're like, okay, you can't even twist it to be like, that's not what he meant. Well, this was a miscommunication, blah, blah, blah. He is Pikeman, and he was ordering Jason out.
There has to be
a
really, really good explanation for this because I just can't.
Okay, do you remember a couple minutes ago whenever we were talking about Liz is going to make excuses for Finn, even though she's been through this before? That's what you sound like right now.
No, I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying, because we talked about this before, though. This is out of character and out of the history that we have of Valentin. Yes, he has definitely done things like this. Like, yes, he went after Nicholas to get his inheritance as a Quartermain. But to know that this whole thing has been going on for the decades, that he's been pining for Anna, and it doesn't match up.
It doesn't match up, I think, because of Charlotte. Because he's always been about protecting Charlotte. And if he was this much of a big player in this scheme, Charlotte would have needed protection. I feel like to the point that he would have had Charlotte somewhere that even Victor wouldn't have been able to know where she was.
Would have kept her with Claudette. He would have been giving crazy child support to Claudette and massive protection.
Right.
He would not have been fighting to get his daughter back and all of that. Yeah,
I agree. It is out of character, but we've seen it leading up to this. And so it was it wasn't a shock, even though it was a shock, but at the same time, you wanted to be like, no, wait, that's not what it can mean. So
And I'm sorry. What part of Brennan stabbing himself and getting admitted into the hospital led Valentin to believe that he needed to talk to him? Valentin doesn't work at the hospital.
I have no idea how they...
Like, that's what he said. There's better ways to get in touch with me rather than stabbing yourself. But how would he have been told?
Right. And how... I don't even know how that worked. Like, I don't care how slick you are. There's no way to have known that the guard was not going to be paying attention. You'd be gone the exact right amount of time. No one else was going to see you. Like, that was all just way too convenient. That was a risk that you would not take.
It would have made more sense if Valentin had dressed like a doctor.
Exactly.
And snuck in. Like, let's just do the same old trope. You know, it's...
Right. Or if Brennan needed to go for like a test or something, have him be one of the people who were, taking him for the test, or stop the elevator, something, anything other than he unhooked himself, got dressed in scrubs, went out to the stairway, had a whole conversation, then snuck back into his room, changed back into his gown, and handcuffed himself, all before the guard that's supposed to be there all the time thought to look.
And then Brennan tells him, so this is also where I'm confused, because the hit had already been ordered, because we saw at the end of last week that Jason was being shot at.
Right.
Brennan lets Valentin know that it is the FBI and they are working with Jason.
Right.
Because Carly just had to tell him.
Mm-hmm. After Anna told her not to go see him because she was going to let information out, because that's what she does.
But then, I mean, I guess they were just trying to take Jason out because they knew that he had infiltrated them.
And that he ultimately was going to protect Sonny.
Right. But now they got the information that Sonny is not happy with Jason. So they're just going to let Sonny take Jason out.
Right.
This is going to be interesting.
Somebody has to figure out his meds, or Ava needs to step up and say something. Like, this is crazy.
It is. Especially with, and we've talked about this before, especially with how vocal Sonny has been about his disorder and about how he has to treat it.
Right.
So, yeah, I guess that's it.
Yep.
Reality check.
So what's your reality check?
I was boring this week. I just played chauffeur to everyone. My mom had a doctor appointment. She's healing well. Everything's going good.
Good.
Emily had a haircut appointment. She got another tattoo.
What's the tattoo? If appropriate.
It's that none of, thank God, knock on wood, none of the ones that my girls have gotten are have bad words or inappropriate images or anything like that with them, because I don't know how I would handle that, because yes, they're adults, but please don't put that on your body, especially right now. That's my issue with it. I'm not against tattoos. I'm against so many tattoos in so short a period of time when you're not really even done growing yet. And so, especially if it was something that I didn't think was tasteful, I would be upset. But anyway, it's on her rib cage, right under her chest, and it says beautifully broken, I think. And it has little or perfectly imperfect. That's what it says. Perfectly imperfect. And then it has little butterflies around it.
Aww.
So it's very cute. And the other ones, she just went to different artists, and I don't know anything about tattoos, so I don't know who's the best artists around here or not. She had gone to different artists, but the one that did this one is a girl that she went to high school with that was an amazing artist. And so whenever she said she was going there, I was assuming that she knows how to tattoo, I have faith that this is going to turn out really pretty, because I know she's not, even though they're tracing the lines, she's not just tracing the lines. She drew the... No,
it's a totally different...
Right. She drew the butterflies originally. So as she's tracing the marking, I just feel like you're more connected to the work then. And so you're going to do a better job. It's a true artist then. It's not just a job or whatever. So like anything else, if you love what you're doing, I feel like you do a better job at it than just for a paycheck. So she got that done, and there was other people there getting tattoos done by the other people who work there. And I was like, man, you make me want to get one, but I still don't know what I would get. Like, I don't know what means.
Don't get one just to get one.
Right. Like, I have one from when I was a teenager that I got just to be a pain. I thought my parents were going to tell me no, and I was just trying to push a boundary, and then they said yes, and I couldn't back out because that's my stubborn personality. So I went ahead and got one, and it's just a dumb heart. It doesn't, affect me one way or the other because my parents were smart enough to tell me that it had to be somewhere that could be covered, so it wouldn't mess up, depending on what profession I would go into or whatever. But thinking about it now, I'm still just like, I don't have anything that means that much to me that I want tattooed on my body for the rest of my life. But just being around the artists, and we've talked before about how I have no artistic ability. It's like whenever I see stuff that your son does, I'm like, I want to draw, I want to do that, or
I want to be able to do that,
or whatever. Like draw me something, and yes, let me have that on me to be like, check out this artwork. But unfortunately, I have no ability, and I don't know what I would ask anyone to draw that means enough to tattoo on my body forever. But I don't know. Like I said, it was just one of those things of like being around true artists was like, this is so inspiring. Why can't I draw anything?
That's just not your gift.
Yeah.
It'd be so boring if we all had the same ones, though. Then they wouldn't be gifts.
That's true, but it does make me jealous. So that's that. How about you?
It was kind of a boring week also. First week, no school. So just trying to not letting her have the week off. But thanks to TikTok, I found this girl did this video of waterfalls to see in Pennsylvania. And there was one that we actually have like a McFeely trail, and it's a Mr. Rogers trail, and it's only about an hour away. And so where my aunt's torn her ACL, I mean, we like to go, my favorite days are where we get a hike in the morning. It's like a hike walk, but still like, walk 2 or 3 miles, go kayaking, and then go spend the afternoon at what we in Pennsylvania consider a beach on the lake.
Yes.
But we like to go around to the different lakes and just try out the different areas. And we knew now with the ACL, that it was going to be different. And so it's an easy walk. It could have only taken probably 20 minutes if we really wanted it to. We dragged it out a little bit, but along the trail is quotes from Mr. Rogers. And then there's a beautiful waterfall that you go behind. And then, so that was nice yesterday. And then I built a fountain yesterday that here, I'll show you. How do I flip around? Where am I? You haven't seen my video stuff. Hold on.
No, you're like all
this is my
up.
Yep. And now we have an awning.
Oh,
and then okay, this is the light because it's not getting direct sunlight right now because there's a cloud. But
that's
there it is.
So
It has
cool.
7 different nozzles. And then so here's the thing. These are from Dollar Tree.
Okay.
These are from Lowe's. So I just put 2 planters upside down, like the bottom one's upside down. This one is Gorilla glued to it. Okay. Then I just planted these pansies in here. This is also from Dollar Tree. And there's just rocks in there. And then this is from Amazon, and it's a solar powered fountain.
That is very cool.
And it took me maybe 20 minutes to make.
Look at you with your DIY.
So I know I love crafting. So that was a lot of fun. And that was also thanks to TikTok. So thank you, TikTok. But that was really it. Like that was the highlight of my week.
You should be very happy with yourself. It's very pretty.
Thank you.
And I love when stuff is cost effective like that too.
Well, because I've been looking at some and there's some nice rock ones but I mean, they're like over $100-something. And especially where the place that I have it, I want to know if it's even making sense to have it there. So I'm not going to spend, what altogether? So the Dollar Tree, is not $1 anymore. So it was $15 for the flower pots, maybe another $25 for the flowers, and then $10-15 for the solar fountain thing.
Yeah.
But there's no electric. It's just, and I have the river rock. I took some from around the pool. And
and you get to say you did it yourself.
Exactly. Well, Cody helped a little bit. So, So that's the highlight of my week, I guess.
Alrighty.
But yeah, join us on Thursday as we talk more about Lila.
Have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to peer54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Peer 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.